Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Resort Originals, and we're going to be going over the brand new trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home. So let's get into it. So this movie seems to be taking place after the events of Infinity War, or you can call it after the events of Endgame. And the first thing that I was able to see is we get the brand new suit for Spider-Man. So this is going to be going more towards the Ultimate Spider-Man line than the traditional with the red and black suit, rather than the red and blue. And we got the wings that'll help him glide around for whatever missions he has in the upcoming movie, which looks pretty nice. And I'm a big fan of them kind of changing his uniforms, or I guess suits, for each movie. It gives a little bit more dynamic to the character, and you kind of get to see the evolution, because Spider-Man did have tons of different suits in the comics and pretty much in movies and TV shows too. So it's cool that they're giving him a new look pretty much every single movie, which is nice to see. So I'm happy about that. So the first thing that we see in the trailer after all the explosion is just kind of seeing the action sequences that will be happening in the movie, is we see something that I don't think we've ever seen before as far as Spider-Man comics book or even past movies go. And that's Peter's mom, or sorry, aunt. Don't want to go over that. Peter's aunt dealing with a possible romantic situation with Happy, of all people. So first thing I want to go over is how great the Spider-Man franchise is. And I think the biggest thing that encapsulates how good it is basically the definition of what Marvel's standards are as far as movie making goes. Have a lot of action, make it funny, and make it relatable. Do those three things and you pretty much have a solid film no matter what. And I think Spider-Man does the best job at it by far. And their movies are just something that's so great. And the fact that Tom Holland plays a high school Peter Parker, even though I think he's like a year or two younger than me, he's like 22, 23 years old, and we can use him for such a long time, where we can literally have 10 Spider-Man movies and then transition to Miles Morales afterwards. So we can literally have like 10 to 15 years of Tom Holland being Spider-Man. He can go over all the different things that he's gone, work on the character development. For example, with him and MJ, it finally seems to be a thing that we'll be seeing in this movie. And I think Zendaya is like, it's perfect. And I think one thing people will say as far as well, you shouldn't whitewash character, or you shouldn't change like the ethnicity of the character, but I don't think it matters. I think with this character, Zendaya does a great job at getting a different style of MJ, and I think that's something that Marvel, at least Disney Marvel, has done a great job as just, instead of just going literally, what do all these guys look like in the comics, let's make them exactly that. So I think it just the way that the character is portrayed with the personality, I think it's a really good way to try a new take on Mary Jane. And even we saw that in the Ultimate Spider-Man, or not Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Man for PS4. And I think she did a great job where she just basically became someone that's not like just like that kind of just traditional female character in the background and just the love interest. But now they gave her a purpose in the PS4 version. She became a little mini version of Peter Parker, where she was doing the investigating and stuff. And with this character, it seems like she's very confident in herself, and I think it's just someone who just is very strong female role. And I think something like that in Spider-Man, as far as the dynamic between her and Peter Parker goes, because Peter Parker, he's not the best with girls. So when he has a girl that it's pretty obvious that she's interested in him, but she's not going to make that clear at all. It's basically, all right, what can Peter Parker do to kind of impress me, and is he going to be the one that can take the big step as far as asking her out or making the first move, or she's just gonna do her. She's gonna enjoy her time around Peter, and it's up to him if he wants to take that next step with them. So I think it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So basically the thing that we got out of the trailer, as far as the things we saw at the beginning of the trailer goes, is that he's going to be going on vacation, summer vacation. So this will be taking place in summer of 2019, so it'll be taking place this year when the movie comes out. And it'll be something that will take him off grounds, obviously from the title, Far From Home. So that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So basically we're going to bring the entire Peter crew up to a different country and see what missions or whatever vacation takes place. So once we get to that point, that's when we're kind of starting to see what the plot is, as far as Nick Fury popping in and popping necks and knocking people out, hoping they don't die by just rolling them over so they don't swallow their tongue. I mean, just the comments here. I think that the biggest thing that Spider-Man movies gets out of its trailers is just the banter back and forth, how people are communicating with each other. And once you see the dynamics and interaction with everyone, you know exactly what this movie's about. Where with Spider-Man, you don't need a bunch of action sequence. I really don't feel like you need that with any movie, maybe a little bit to show obviously it's an action movie, but I mean it's superheroes. We know there's going to be action in it. So just seeing what the vibe of the movie is with how the characters interact, I think it does a great job at seeing the continuation of from the Homecoming movie to Far From Home, where I know with the Captain Marvel movie, the most recent trailer, that's the best one because it shows the interaction with Brie Larson or Captain Marvel and Nick Fury, and that's kind of what I look for. The first two was just a bunch of action. I don't even think Captain Marvel spoke at all, maybe a little bit. I think she was the narrator in like the first two, something around that, but you didn't get a lot in the movie. But once we saw the most recent one, that's when it got a lot more people interested, and that's what I kind of look for, where nothing really piqued my interest with them. Other one, I mean, obviously I'm going to see it because it's a Marvel movie, but as far as something that's going to interest me, like genuinely interest me in the movie, the last trailer is the one that did it. Alright, so now getting into more of the comic book stuff of the movie. We have it seems to be three different kind of guys that Peter will be going against, and it basically turns into one, which is the main guy is Mysterio. So it starts out with showing basically Hydro Man, and I think Sandman, and then and like and a Pyro Man. Sorry, for all those people who are super into comics, I'm more mainstream, and this is just something that I'm learning. So I try to watch a lot of videos as far as learning what these characters are. So now that I saw it, I'm gonna look more into it and try to figure out what their historical meaning is, and basically where they came from, and comic book such or whatever. So moving forward, it seems to be that with Mysterio, he is a character that has a lot of powers as far as with special effects. So it seems to be that he's actually a bad guy. He's supposed to be a bad guy. I know that much. And with his powers, it seems like that he is going to try to pretend that he is a superhero by making him look really, really egotistical, by trying to show that he's the guy. He's the one that's kind of like that wants people to kind of be looking up at and just being like, oh, I want to be like Mysterio. So, but it seems to be that he might be the one that is creating these monsters and showing that he can take these guys down, and then you realize what might go on further down the line in the movie, figuring out that he's actually the bad guy, and that's where the whole plot might start to come to fruition a little bit. So, and Jake Gyllenhaal, I think that's a great ad. It's funny though because he was actually supposed to be playing Spider-Man in the Sam Raimi version, but he ended up injuring his back while he was shooting a movie, so he was no longer able to do it, which resulted in a different character portraying the Spider-Man from 2001 to like 2007, I think, something around those, around there. So at the very end of the trailer, after we kind of see what the main characters, people will be in the movie, we see the very end, just more comedy back and forth with how Peter's high school bully, but he does seem to be a big fan of Spider-Man, and the fact that he loves Spider-Man but absolutely can't stand Peter Parker is amazing, and the fact that they were able to have a really cool joke in the middle there with him kind of calling him a dickwad makes everything perfect, and just shows what that we will be expecting as far as comedy level goes in the movie, and that's something I will be looking forward to, and I'm sure many of you guys will be looking forward to as well. So this is just something that overall my reaction is just, it's basically what I expect. I know I'm gonna be blown away. I was blown away. Spider-Man is my guy as far as seeing Into the Spider-Verse goes, playing Spider-Man PS4, watching Tom Holland represent Peter Parker in this new era of Marvel Entertainment, and everything seems to be going so incredibly well for Spider-Man right now. I just feel like there's no reason not to be interested into this movie. This is just something everyone can look forward to, so I hope you guys are all looking forward to as well. And yeah, that's what my review is as far as the first trailer goes, and I'm assuming there'll probably be about 2 more before we see the movie in summer, but we have to look forward to Captain Marvel, and of course Endgame, and then we got Spider-Man back into action. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are interested in more I would say Marvel Entertainment videos as far as watching movie trailers go and having movie reviews go, let me know in the comment section below if this is something that you are interested in. Now, this is not the only content I make. I also do a lot of gaming content as well, so if you're interested in that at the same time, please hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, and I'm out.